A marginal farmer in a country like ours, it is very difficult. Whatever may the return on investment be, it may be difficult to make that initial investment in the first place. So tie up with bankers and provide them assistance. So these are some of the ways that in India and globally we try and manage, we try and become sustainable, and we make commitments to you. Now, having done what I do best, just because Mr. Jain is sitting next to me on my left, I will start with you, not for any other reason. I will start with you. How many manufacturing facilities would you have in India, sir?
Does this work? Yeah, it does.
How many manufacturing facilities would you have?
We have two facilities, one in Pune and one up north in the hill state of Himachal.
Fantastic. So how do you ensure carbon net neutrality in Pune and up north in your manufacturing facility?
Thank you. That's a great question. And it was a journey. It's not easy because very clearly a lot of the work which we do was energy intensive and carbon intensive. However, over the last few years, we have systematically invested capital in our manufacturing processes. For example, moved away from traditional boilers to electric boilers. Very importantly, collaborate with the ecosystem. So collaborate with the government of Himachal in this case to figure out what are the most effective ways of sourcing green energy. In this case, replacing thermal power with hydel power. And this requires investment in transmission. It requires talking to the DISCOMs and collaborating with them. So collaborating with the ecosystem, the regulator, is something which, as we know in India, is not obvious, but that's something which can really help you get to your green energy goals. So I would, just in the interest of brevity, really focus on these two areas. So we were lucky that in February, after a 3-year journey, we managed to declare our factory in Himachal carbon neutral, and now we are on the same journey for Pune.
Very well. And I can really tell you what your factories churn out. You are carbon net neutral and you are sustainable is something very commendable. But what you churn out, there are many fans you would have in this room. I'll come to Florence. Florence represents Dassault Systems, a technology giant globally. How does digitalization, because you are pioneering and you are helping many companies like ours digitalize and transform, how does digitalization help me become sustainable?
Well, I'm very happy that we meet because I could be part of your journey. I do believe virtualization and digitalization is the best way to become sustainable. And there is different way to do that. First, virtual twin. What is a virtual twin? The virtual twin is a digital representation of a product, be it a lipstick, be it a bottle of milk, or be it an airplane or a bridge. And if you have the digital representation of this product, you can basically optimize it for sustainability. Meaning, when you have designed it in our platform, or do the virtual twin in our platform, then you can have an idea of the CO2 impact, the material impact, and the water impact, not only of the design, but during the manufacturing process and during the life cycle of the product. So you can basically optimize it for sustainability with artificial intelligence. And that's what we do for the industry.
Thank you very much. A follow-up question to you, Florence, would be, for a layman to understand, are you saying that digitalization increases efficiency, and more efficient you are, the more sustainable your operation is? Can a layman conclude like that?
It's a way to see it, and definitely digitalization improves efficiency, and efficiency means more sustainability. But digitalization also allows you to reinvent products and services. With digitalization, right now, we are working on more than 100 electric vehicle projects all over the globe. We are also working on hydrogen plane projects. hydrogen boat projects. And these new projects that are done, created in the virtual world, in collaboration with suppliers all over the world, are going to be a big solution to the sustainability challenge as well.
Yes, I would say so. Thank you very much. Coming to Mr. Eisenhower on my right, Saint Gobain, you are, like many of us, you are touching our lives in many different ways, we all know. To be sustainable in your company, in your operation, are you facing any hurdles? It could be social, it could be regulatory, it could be anything. Are you facing any hurdles? And if yes, would you want to talk about it?
I think hurdles would be there, but as a company, we use the mechanism of approaching the authorities to get over the legal hurdles. And I don't think they're unsurmountable as far as hurdles with the government, etc. are concerned. Because today, all governments are wanting to be working towards a sustainable environment. So it is not a major constraint today in India for our companies. If you want, I can tell you something more on what we do as a company.
Yes, please.
To ensure sustainable operations. First, our logo itself is to make the world a better home. That is what is our motto. Two, I think in the previous panel discussion they talked of stopping printing of vouchers. Can you understand that in India, we move every day around 6,000 tons of glass, but we were packing everything in wooden boxes in the 90s and 2000. Today, 90% of it is sent without packing. So we have just stopped cutting trees. The second thing is glass process requires a lot of water. All our rooftops, water is completely harvested. So 60 to 65% our water requirement is met through that. Three, energy. We were at about 5% renewable energy today, and by 25 we would move to 63% renewable energy. The entire roof of all our factories, we are putting up solar. We are putting up windmills. We are using our biomass. We are using waste heat recoveries. So all the possibilities that are there to ensure renewable energy, we are working. We are working on alternative fuel. For instead of using oil, we went to gas. But gas alone is not enough for us to stop on renewable. So we have started working on how can we use hydrogen. See, as the previous panel, they said hydrogen would suddenly come in 26, 27. To be ready to use that hydrogen, we have already started experimenting in a few furnaces usage of hydrogen. We have already gone to 15%, and we are sure by the time in 26, 27, when the green hydrogen is available, we would be able to move to 75, 80% hydrogen usage. So that Saint-Gobain always is thinking of the future and not trying to say, okay, let it wait, let it come. No.
I agree with you.
So that is what we think we should do. You asked a very relevant question on digital. We have been using digital.
Did I ask you that?
No, you were asking.
Okay, please.
So on digital, we have been using digital technology to improve our energy efficiency.
Yes.
And really, the improvements are very, very high.
Oh, I congratulate you on that. I can see you are responding to some very urgent emails. So I let you be while I go to Olivier. I let you be. I hope to come back to you, but don't mind if I don't. All right, Olivier, I request you to give your best now. That is, how are you, how is Alstom contributing to India's green strategy? You have large projects, and Happy Engineers Day to you. Happy Engineers Day to everyone. By the way, we all are engineering our lives in many different ways. So, but especially to Alstom, no discrimination against anybody else. How are you contributing to India's green strategy with all your massive engineering projects?
Thanks a lot for this question. Indeed, I think that we are on a lucky segment within the mobility as railway today, because clearly in the transport mode, we are one of the greenest today. If you want to go fast, the bicycle is better. In a way, today in the green India, there is some massive investment which are launched, whatever the urban transportation or whatever the mainline transportation, in order to clearly transform the landscape. There is a need, there is really a willingness, and I think with the solutions that we are providing, whatever the trains, the services, or the signaling solution, we are clearly putting our humble contribution in the landscape in which India is launched today. And by nature, our products are one of the greenest for transportation. We are working during the design in order to be sure that at the end of the life, 99% of our product will be totally reusable. During the manufacturing, as mentioned by my colleagues, which is clearly a challenge because we need energy in order to produce today. So that's a cycle in which it's difficult to go. Most of our factories are powered by solar panel as of today. And one of the important points is 80% of what we are doing is coming from India. And this 80% in terms of supply chain is, I think, a key contribution to the green of tomorrow. So with the 10,000 talents that we have, I think that we try to bring our humble contribution to the green India.
Matthew, well,
Thank you.
what would you want to say about sustainability? What are your sustainability goals and how do you propose to achieve?
Thank you. So sustainability is very difficult to achieve because basically there are two major drivers. One is frugality, which is not in the human nature, and the other one is innovation. So that's why we push for innovation. At the cornerstone of innovation, there is data, because without data, without measurement, we can't figure out where is the problem. In the past years, in the past decades, we spent a lot of time optimizing financials, and my friend the banker said that this is no more the case. Now we have also to optimize the carbon footprint. And for that, we need a lot of data. And unfortunately, data is not very present today. We have internal data sometimes. We know what we consume in terms of energy, for example. And then it's what is indirect scope 2 is rather difficult because it's what your employees are doing, for example. And what is most difficult is scope 3 because it's your suppliers. And suppliers represent on average 50% of the value of your company, of what you purchase. So it means that, for example, we developed at TNP, because we love data, we developed a tool to measure more accurately what is the impact of suppliers. So it's a combination of various sources of data, and with some artificial intelligence and so on, we can improve the knowledge of what your suppliers are emitting. Because at the end of the day, it's not good to outsource your pollution or your CO2 emissions, and that's why we use that tool.
Thank you very much. So what I hear from you, and what I think the audience need to be assured about is, Matthew Lebier, you have butter in your name, by the way. So, Matthew, and be it mobility, be it technology, lifestyle, dairy or agriculture, be it heavy engineering, be it Sangoban or Matthew, what the audience needs to be assured from the panel is there is a clear intent of sustainability, delivering sustainability to all of us, achieving it, and therefore thereby making our lives better in the coming days. So I thank all of you, and thanks for the opportunity to you, all of you, to give me this chance to opportunity to moderate this panel this evening. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.